Guys, we're here at the market to buy the stuff for our squid balls later. So first off, we have ourselves some all-purpose flour, squid flakes, salad dressing. We have a Thousand salad, original, and honey mustard. Personally, we like the honey mustard most, so that's a recommendation if you don't know which one to choose. So that goes into the cart. Milk and cookie popsicle, not related to the squid balls, but related to my stomach, so it goes into the cart. Yogurt, more yogurt, personal use only. Potato chips. These packs are vacuumed, so it's like a brick. But then these ones are pretty soft, so I made this piece of art. So just admire that. And okay, moving on. We're going to the cashier and we're getting number 4 for the 25 points we have currently, so let's go. We just finished our shopping. We got this much of stuff, and not to forget the Jamie Oliver chef's knife. Yeah boy, we finally got it. So I'll be showing that off later when we make the takoyaki balls and more steak cooking, so I will see you guys then. Peace. Guys, what's up? We're here at my great-grandma's and we're gonna make some takoyaki squid balls. So first you would want to make the batter, and personally what we go with is 1 water to 1.5 all-purpose flour, but you can change this recipe as much as you want. It's the more flour you have, the harder your takoyaki balls are gonna be. So now let's just pour in the water and get the flour ready. We don't have a weight or a measuring cup, so we're just gonna eyeball it according to volume. So we poured in 2 cups of water, so that means we need 3 cups of flour. And if you spill the flour, don't worry, just remember to have like a smooth surface or a surface that you can easily clean. So 1 cup of flour going in. And make sure to pat it clean and put the cups to the side. Let's just first mix it up. Alright guys, so we have the batter roughly mixed up. Now for every 400 to 500 milliliters or cubic centimeters of batter, you would want to add 1 egg. So we're gonna use 2 of them right here. And just put the shells to the side. Oops. Make sure there are no shells in your batter or it's gonna taste pretty bad. There. And mix it up again. If your batter looks too goopy or too liquidy, you can just add some flour or some water. So just it's like a process of trial and error to find the perfect batter for your own personal taste. So now we're just gonna mix in the eggs, and remember to mix it in very well. Alright, after it's roughly mixed up, you are going to start adding the seasoning that you want in your batter and mixed up. And now we're going to add some soy sauce or bonito soy sauce, any kind of soy sauce, to give it some color and some salty, sweet taste. You can add as much as you like, it's up to you, but it just gives it a little taste. And then add some sugar. It's also another personal preference to go with the saltiness of the other ingredients, so just pour it in and mix it in. And then we have Korean chili sauce to give it some flavor explosion, and I usually give it a generous sprinkle because personally I think the chili is not very strong, so I usually put more inside, but again, it's a personal preference. Also, whether or not you want to use these items, it's up to you, depending on what you like or don't like to eat. And that pretty much finishes our batter. So now we're gonna turn on our, and also you can add some wasabi inside the batter or outside the batter on the takoyaki balls, but personally we added both to give it some flavor and just get it in there and mix it up. You might want to just squeeze it against the walls of your mixing bowl to incorporate it into the batter and just scrape it off, mix it in there. So that finishes our batter, and now we're gonna turn on the takoyaki machine, and I will see you guys after it's been warmed up. Hey guys, so our takoyaki machine has been warmed up. We have our oil ready and a small spoon, or you could use a brush, but we don't have that, so we're using a spoon. You can add some or a lot depending on yourself. It's gonna taste smoother if you use more oil, but of course everything comes at a price, so if you get too much oil it might be bad for your body. So the choice is up to you. You can, you know, like have it rarely but use a lot of oil, which is gonna let it taste better. But for us, we're just gonna use a little bit. So you can take your time at this step, but after that, when your batter goes in, you need to be quick, or else it's gonna get burnt. And also for the batter, if you want some extra taste, you can put some bonito flakes inside, fish flakes, to give it some extra taste. And that is done. So now we're gonna take our batter and just pour it in. After that, you want to take whatever filling you have. It can be anything from meat to veggies to fruits. Even though no one does that, you can try that. If you do, comment down below if it was yummy or not. And just quickly put it in. And make sure to pre-cut your ingredients to a small chunks that will fit inside these balls, or else it's going to be a pretty hard time putting them in. And if they're too small, you can just put a second piece inside. And then sprinkle your veggies on top generously. It's totally okay if it overflows. It's just gonna be harder to stuff it in, but it's gonna taste a lot better, trust me. Try it yourself and you will see for yourself. And just cover it up generously with the veggies or whatever veggies you have prepared, but personally we used cabbage shreds, so just cover it up. There we go. And personally I like to sprinkle some scallions to give it a little a bit of what's that called, a bit of a taste for it. So just sprinkle a teeny tiny bit everywhere here and there. Okay, and lastly, because I said don't use too much batter, that is because we're gonna cover it back up so that it can get incorporated into the batter and stick together when we're gonna turn it. So just add some batter on top like that. Don't use too much or it's gonna give you a hard time to mix it around, and just scrape that off. And then you can put your takoyaki machine on high now, and now we wait for the batter to firm up, and then we're gonna spin the balls. I'll see you guys. So as you guys can see, it's bubbling and smoking, so just cut it along the lines that your takoyaki machine should have, so that it gives you an easier time to flip them over. And you need to be quick with this or it's gonna get well done. You guys can hear the bubbling noises are very glorious, and just cut that through. And it might be hard sometimes to find the cut lines, but you'll get it eventually. And if there's any extra, just push it into the middle. Okay, after that, you want to take something pointy and thin like a bamboo skewer and just flip it around. You can use 2 for easier control. Use one to poke in and use the other to flip it around, and if it's too big you might have a hard time, but it will work as you get more practice. Just use the flat side of the skewer or whatever you have to poke it and just push all of the fillings inside. As you can see, it was really big, but then it's gonna turn out a beautiful circle with lots of filling, which is perfect to eat. Alright guys, so we are back. We have all of the balls flipped. So now we just put it on high power and wait until it's golden brown on both sides. And before I leave, you want to, when you're doing these takoyaki balls, you want to see what the heat source is. For our machine, as you guys can see in this picture, it's like a U shape. It's a coil that goes around in a U shape, so that's why these few are already a bit golden brown, as you guys can see, and these ones on the outside and this side takes more time to get golden brown. So make sure you notice the heat sources and switch the places of the ones that are already golden brown and the ones that are not golden brown yet to give it a distributed heat source. And I will see you guys after they're all golden brown. Hey guys, so as you guys can see, some of them are already done, like these few. So we're gonna take them, put them on the plate, and give them some seasoning. And just poke it in from the side. Never poke it in from the top or it's gonna look bad. If you want it to look good, remember to poke it from the side. And also this one, it can be golden brown or just well done, depending on what you want it to look like. But basically, if it's hard and crunchy like this, then that means it's done already, and this one as well. Let's just try to let it look good on the plate for a good photo shoot. And also, you want to make sure that you don't press it when you're turning. Just gently, you can press the sides, but don't press the top at the start, because if it's not connected, if it's not well done, the connection part, it's gonna just slide and separate apart, which is gonna be very hard to save. Pretty much unsavable, actually, to be honest. Like the first time I was doing this, a lot of that things happened. And also, as I said, if you don't pour enough batter, it's gonna be only a semicircle instead of a beautiful circle. So that's just right now. Take the ones that are already well done, put it on the plate, and I will see you guys later for the toppings. Hey guys, so as you guys can see, we have already 11 of them there, and that's put the final one on top. And before we start the topping, let me just turn off the fire, and I am going to show you the one that I said don't press down or it's going to separate. It's going to be like this. Everything looks fine. You're going to put it on the plate, you poke it in, you get it up, but then it just drops like that. So that is why you never push it down on the top like that. Also, it's gonna make it flat, which is very ugly. So remember to either poke it or just press it on the sides to avoid something like this from happening. Of course, it's still edible, but it's not gonna look that good. So now let's move over to the topping, and I will show you guys how to do that. So here is the plate, and we have 3 different kinds of salads. We have 3 different kinds of salads here. We have original, we have thousand layer toppings, and we also have mustard. Personally, our family likes the mustard the most because it has the most pleasing flavor for us. And also you can put some wasabi on the sides or on the top if everyone eats them. So now let's just take some wasabi and give it some on top of them all to work as a flavoring, a topping, but also sort of like a glue for the fish flakes on top. And if you like the spiciness of wasabi, feel free to use more, or if you don't like it, feel free to use less, or don't use it at all, and just use the salads as a replacement. So now let's get the salads on here, and we will have, let me just turn it around so it's easier. And you can use, you can top the salads whichever way you like, but this way is just easier. So let's do that. And then the 1,000 layers. And this one has a bigger hole, so we'll just go over it once, and that should be enough. And then lastly, the original, which has a gigantic gaping hole. This is going to taste very oily, but if you like salad, it's going to be great. And that's it for the salad. Now let's just top it with some bonito flakes, bonito fish flakes. Just gonna go over it very quickly, and not to forget the sesame seeds. Just sprinkle it on generously. Don't worry if it splashes everywhere. You can always clean up or just let it splash in the plate. So that's it, and we're gonna put on the remaining fish flakes on the takoyaki balls to give it some taste and some looks. And also you can just push it into the salad so that it can work as a glue for the flakes. And I like more, so I'm going to put more, even though it makes it not look that good, but it's going to taste better. Or you could just put it on after you take some photos. That is fine as well. And that is our takoyaki balls finished. So now we're going to enjoy it. Hey guys, what's up? We just finished all of them except for this one, so now we're gonna do a taste test. It's really moist, not too soft. It's a bit chewy. There's a lot of fillings. It's not like the ones you buy outside where it's mostly batter. This one, it's mostly fillings, which is awesome. And also, you can taste the mustard, the honey mustard, and also the fish flakes, which I like. It's great. We succeeded. Awesome. Definitely try it out if you have the chance. We should be making more soon. And so that's it for this video. Drop a like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell in my channel. I will see you guys in the next video where we cook the steak and cut it up with Jamie Oliver's carving fork and carving knife. See you soon.